Today I'm going to show you the easy way to replace pads on your CRF250L, and you will not have to remove the wheel to do this. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is to actually take an 8mm to this bolt here and just break it loose. It's a lot easier to do it while it's still bolted onto the bike versus trying to do this while it's hanging there. Next, we're going to take a 12mm socket and we're going to take these caliper bolts loose. Go ahead and take those off. And all the mechanics who think they know more than you are going to be yelling, "Don't let that caliper hang by the hose." Oh no, it's going to ruin it. This caliper weighs half of nothing, and it's not going to hurt it to hang from this reinforced brake line. If this was like the brakes on your car, yeah, then you'd want to put a bungee cord on it to hold it up. This one will be fine. Now we're going to go ahead and take this pin here out with that 8mm. Then your pads should drop right out. I wasn't worried about catching these because they're pretty much gone. You'll notice one wears way more than the other. That's because one's riding along the back and then one's riding along your caliper, your piston and your caliper here. It always has pressure against it, so they do wear unevenly. But these little grooves, these are the factory Nissans. These grooves are wear indicators. So when those grooves are gone, you need new pads. But as you can see, that's getting down there. So now what you're going to want to do is there's these two pistons here. Those need to go back in. So if you're really strong, or just mildly strong, you can push them back in with your thumb. They do kind of need to be pushed in at the same time. That was kind of dumb. What I did is pushing them individually. You might want to hold one and push the other, because if you push one and this one pops out, you're going to have a bad time. So now that those are back in, we can get this rattle clip, or this anti-rattle clip, and pop that out. This one's not bad, but I'm going to replace it anyway because the one in the back of this bike is bad. I mean, these are only $1 or so, so it's not a bad idea to replace them because they are a wear part, because the brake pads slide on them. So we'll go ahead and replace that while we're at it. There's the Honda number for your anti-rattle clip here. Goes in just like the old one came out. Like that. Now when you do this, there's these little tabs right here and right here that go around the casting of this caliper. And it's very important that that's seated and around that casting, because that is what keeps this from getting thrown out of there when the rotor is pulling on the pads. Okay, we'll go ahead and put the new pads back in. I'm using EBC sintered brake pads, and in a different video I'll explain the difference between sintered and organic and semi-sintered and all that fun stuff. So that's the way that one goes in. That little clip rides. I should actually show you this. There's this little wear pad right in here that this tab rides on. If that's getting worn down bad, that's something else that could potentially need to be replaced. That. And then this other one here that has this half circle that rides up here like that. And then we'll go ahead and put this back in. Now you might want to put just a tiny little bit of grease on here. And when you put grease on brake parts, you need to be super careful, because if it gets on the pad or the rotor at all, it's basically going to destroy it and you have to get new ones to start over. Another thing you can do is just put a tiny drop of water on this O-ring just to help it slide in here. go ahead and insert that. Press down on your brake pad slightly to compress that anti-rattle clip, and that allows this to line up. You can go ahead and thread that back in and just get it snug, because we'll tighten it after we reinstall the whole caliper. At this point, you want to make sure that you separate your pads, that you push on them, and there's a little bit of spring from that anti-rattle clip. We'll go ahead and guide the brake pads over the rotor, and then Rowan, my wonderful child assistant.
Yeah.
Hey sweetie, could you get me the bolts off the seat that I forgot to grab?
Yeah.
Go ahead and get one started. Put the other one in here. I'll put the actual torque specs up here for the caliper bolts, and then here for this little pin down here. But I'm using the quarter turn past tight and eighth of a turn before it breaks method of torque. Hasn't failed me yet, so I'd suggest actually getting a torque wrench and doing the correct numbers, but you know, I've got a feel for these sort of things. So that is the quick and easy front brake pad replacement. Okay, now something very important: when you replace your brakes, you need to pump them. When you squeeze those pistons back into the caliper, all that fluid goes back up into the reservoir. So if you watch, nothing, absolutely nothing. There is no braking pressure being applied. So we're going to pump that a few more times. Now we've got actual brakes. So you need to be very careful when you do brakes, and remember to do that. If you don't do brakes correctly, you can imagine the possibilities of not being able to stop. So make sure you pump the brakes once you get them done. One more thing, I took these rear pads out after I went around the block just to show you something. You can see there's not a very big contact patch, a little bit down here and then two stripes through it. You know, this one's not any better. The reason I wanted to show you that is brake pads take a while to seat into the rotor. So the first time you take this out, it's gonna seem like the brakes are worse than when you had your old pads in, because it's going to take them time to seat in correctly. So allow extra stopping distance, be careful, don't be dumb.